Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Corey back from My Two Cents to give you just a quick rundown on this JETech tempered glass. I wanted to give you an idea of something that's relatively inexpensive, a review. I bought this off of Amazon. Gonna put it on the Note 5. I'll show you the installation process and kind of the results throughout this. Let's take a look and see what comes inside. So we have this little foam container here. This is going to contain our piece of ballistic glass. It's not extremely thick. You can see it's got this little peel-off tab for the adhesive side. And then what else do we have within the box here? So it looks like we have a microfiber cleaning cloth. This thing is going to be the adhesive remover, so if you have some hair or something on there after you scrub it, you could use that. And then these tabs, which are going to be used during the installation process as well. So let's read through the instructions here real quick and see exactly what it's asking us to do. So looking at it, it's saying that the first thing we need to do is go ahead and look at the screen to see that has this one tab on it. The first thing we're going to need to do is clean it, then use the dust protector or cleaner to help us pull the dust off, and then peel off the backing off of the glass using the tabs here to put them on, and then go ahead and put it back onto the phone. So the first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is put our tabs on the piece of glass. That way we don't have any dust falling onto the screen as we're waiting after we clean it. So we're going to put both the tabs in the direction that it's showing, one on each corner, top and bottom. And then we're going to take our phone and our remaining two pieces here, the cleaning cloth and the dust puller upper piece of adhesive. So we're just going to go ahead and clean this as much as possible. Just making sure there's no fingerprints or any leftover residue. It's looking pretty good. Then we can take our dust sticker here, and this thing is not wanting to come off here. It's kind of wanting to peel up with the paper. It's not necessarily very cool. I don't have fingernails, so that might be the problem. There we go. So with this little clear piece of blue adhesive, and you can put this on your phone, and it's kind of tricky. You don't want to touch the phone after you just cleaned it, but this will help you remove any pieces of hair or dust that might have fallen on top of it that might be sticky or are part of static cling. Go ahead and go all around your screen if you're worried about having additional dust on it. We'll take our phone and set it sideways here. That might make installation a little bit easier. And then we can take our back off, this one tab here. That'll go ahead and reveal the adhesive side of the glass. And then using the two tabs, the tab method is actually pretty cool. Helps you lay it down a little bit more even than trying to hold the glass piece itself. Just take it our time and lay it down. Make sure you get it nice and centered. Now this is tricky. This piece of glass is edge to edge on the OLED of this Note 5. I mean, there is no margin of error here. If you don't put it on just the right edge, it's going to be off center. So you can kind of use the camera proximity sensor home button to kind of gauge. And looking at it, it is not very straight here. So what we may have to do is actually pull back up. Now this is supposed to be able to be removed if you haven't pushed down on it yet. So let's take that. Let's try that real quick. Let's see if we can remove this and lay it back down and how it's going to readhere itself. It can be a little bit tricky since it's already popped down. See if we can find an edge to pull up from. We'll use this edge down here. And just taking our time, making sure we don't damage the adhesive behind it. And just pulling up gently. We don't want to crack it. So I'll get my finger underneath it a little bit. There we go. We'll see how this lays back down again. So like I was saying, you want to hit just barely the black edge and make sure it's centered. There we go. And they say basically run your finger down in kind of a cross shape around it. It should automatically adhere itself to the phone. That looks pretty stinking good. Nice and centered that time. Now that we've got it on there, we can go ahead and pull the tabs off. You may just want to run your finger around and make sure that there's no parts that are trying to pill up. You'll see that it's kind of a grayish color. It's not completely adhered to the screen. Take the tabs off here real fast. That was pretty easy, actually. So what we'll do is I'll leave this on here for a little bit of time, and then I'll get back to you in this video. So I'll cut away and then bring it back, and we'll talk about how the protector has performed over the last little bit of time. So we're back. I've had this on here for about a week and a half, and it's performed pretty well. I mean, I'm really pretty happy with the screen protector itself. I mean, it wasn't very expensive when I bought it from Amazon. It was only $7.99, so that's not too bad. Looking at it, I mean, screen on, you definitely can't see any issues with it, but looking at the screen off, it has the same issues that a lot of screen protectors are going to have, at least the glass ones on Samsung devices, and that is there's a tiny amount of haloing just right around the edge. You can see right down here, this kind of this gray line here. That is where it's not fully adhered to the screen, and it hasn't changed. It's been this way since the day that I put it on, and it hasn't tried to pull itself up. So I'm not thinking that it's going to have any issues in the future, but basically what's going on is the Note 5 screen curves slightly before the edge, and that's causing all these ballistic glass screen protectors to want a halo, is what they call it, so that ring around it. I don't have the problem at the bottom or the top. It's just right down the two edges, just right on the edge of the screen. Like I was saying, you power the device on and you get it, and it looks great, and you can see that it's pretty centered. I mean, there's nothing that would cause it to halo on one side or the other. I mean, if it wasn't centered, or you would have haloing on one side and then not on the other. So I can see that's on both sides, so it's nice and centered on there. So overall, I'm pretty happy. If you want to take a look at the link, I'll throw that down in the description. You can purchase this from Amazon. As always, thanks for watching.